Hello everyone, Maurice and welcome to Tanks Invest. We're talking about investing, finance, precious development. For today's video, in terms only. Investment I'm going to talk about today will be NIO and Tesla. As I'm recording around 2:50 p.m. on Eastern time right now, basically 1 hour away from the market closing, with respect to Tesla's current trading around like the $648, up about 0.5%. With respect to NIO, it's currently down about 0.5% respectively, trading around like the $45.81. With respect to the two consecutive negative days that we've had so far, with one with respect to the DD shutdown news from China on enforcing more regulatory pressure across all the Chinese companies globally. Also, another negative news that we got recently was with respect to the weaker than expected service sector report, which subsequently drives some volatility in the oil market, right? And as of today, earlier yesterday, with respect to an FOMC meeting, right, with respect to a high-level synopsis of what happened in the meeting, per my video that I talked about earlier today on Ethereum, is that with respect to the topic of quantitative tightening and the tapering timeline on reducing asset purchases from the Federal Reserve or the central bank, it seems like the verbiage around the meeting was more leaning towards a more of a foreshadow perspective, right? Quote, need for patience, right? So it seems like the quantitative tightening plan or tapering is not going to happen until like basically 6 to 9 months out of the market from here, right? Obviously, with respect to this news, it obviously shows some like short-term type of volatility into the market, with obviously the quotes on quantitative tightening, right? When you hear that term, it oftentimes like cuts off the monetary circulations among corporate companies, which subsequently can hinder the top line and subsequently hinder the margin, right, on an operational and a financial perspective. So with respect to the job report that we got today from the U.S. Department of Labor, respect to the number of U.S. weekly first-time jobless claim, it came out to be about 373,000 for the weekend of July 3rd, in comparison to Dow Jones' estimate, which was about 350,000. So obviously the jobless claim was higher than expected, which obviously drives some selling pressure on the equity market as well, foreshadowing some sort of inertia or friction on the equity market, which subsequently drives some selling pressure, right? But it seems like around noontime today, we subsequently rebound across the equity market because we were hitting the substantial resistance level across a lot of the stocks, right? With respect to NIO, hitting around like the $43 mark. With respect to Tesla, hitting around like the $624 mark, which is the level that we have identified in the technical analysis in my previous video. So this is not a surprise. This is something that we knew, basically based on the technical analysis so far. So I'm going to go through the technical analysis again to see, with respect to the market today, as we're leaning more towards the market closing in an hour or so, how should we think about this? Should we be dollar cost averaging at this level, or do we see more sell-off coming that we might see more opportune time to buy at? So stay tuned, stick around, let's make some money. Alright, so moving on to the technical analysis for NIO and Tesla, and I'm recording as of 2:55 p.m. on Eastern time right now. It's currently trading around that $45.75 level for NIO, down about 0.65%. And respect to the sell-off that we've had in the last 2 days so far, ever since breaking that $46 level because of the DD news and also with respect to the negative news on the service sector in the US, it subsequently broke down to hit that $43 mark, which was a level that we identified in the previous technical videos. You could go back to the previous videos to see this is the level that we've identified so far, right? So this is not, I haven't changed the chart at all. It's just that it somehow is resisting at the level that we identified previously. So with respect to what I see for NIO going forward right now, with respect to the two Black Swan events news, one of the FOMC meeting that we had yesterday, and the job report for July 3rd that we also got today, it seems like we rebounded subsequently because we hit that substantial resistance level, the $43 mark for NIO, right? And subsequently rebounded from there. And now it seems like we're kind of hovering around like the $46, 45.75 to be more exact, right? But do we see breaking through that level and continue to leap away? Because if we break the 46, we're going to leap all the way back up to the $49, $48 level that we identified previously, right? But you could see that on the MACD perspective, we just formed a cross section right here. So I do foresee this is more of a dead cat bounce, to be honest with you. Despite RSIs being, leaning more toward an oversold level, we're not really oversold yet. We kind of on a neutral level. This is more like just a cooling down, if you may, right? But for us to like completely recuperate from the momentum of the sell-off, we have to kind of deplete a little bit more, right? Because this is not substantial enough for us to continue this curvature, for us to go up, right? and we just crossed recently, so this is a bearish signal, right? So would I advise buying it right now at the $46 level? I think the level that we should have bought at was the $43 level, and I didn't because I was in a meeting today, and I didn't want to be rude to the people that I was talking to on the phone by going on my app and buying stocks, right? So opportunity cost, I guess I missed out on that. But $43 level, if you were lucky and you saw my videos previously, you know that was the level to buy at. And that's exactly the level we bounced off. And I'm not being, trying to fabricate anything. This is exactly how the technical chart is translating the story to us right now. And with respect to MACD, I do see a little bit more selling pressure. So you could say this is a dead cat bounce. Not really, but it's just a normalization of the MACD, right? We need to kind of slow down a little bit and then form more of a cross section up here to recuperate to have that full curvature, right? So RSI, I do see a little bit more depletion coming. So I do see some maybe selling pressure in the first half of the day tomorrow. Maybe get down to ideally around like the $43 level and then recuperate and keep going up from there, right? So that's like how the curvature will be completely formed, and then make another cross section, and then we'll leap up away to go to the next earnings call coming up, right? So that's the play for NEO. With respect to Tesla, same thing again, right? With respect to like breaking through the level of 664, and then we had that leap down, right, to basically the level of 644, which is basically, this is not really a level of leap. This is basically, all right, so moving on to Tesla, we are recording as of 2:59 p.m. right now, so basically 1 minute from 3 p.m. Respect to current level 649, up about 0.74%. Based on the chart right now, it's basically matching with all the technical analysis resistance level, right? The first level that we broke through, the 664, which is the level identified, and this is the level why we leap down. And then the next level that we bounced off of was the 625, which is the level we bounced off, and that's why we're kind of hovering around this level and to basically recuperate to go back to the 649. So this is kind of like a bounce right now, right? So what do you see the stock for Tesla going forward? If you look closely, it seems like MACD is slowly crossing downward to meet with the signal line. So this is actually a bearish signal right here. And on top of the fact that you can see the RSI is not really highly oversold, again, right, comparable to NEO. We are in more of a neutral zone. This is just more cooling down, if you may. Not really oversold or overbought, right? So I actually see Tesla to be slowly correcting from the 650 down back to the 625 because the propensity of this chart right now, you can see how dragged up it is right now with respect to the curvature. We have formed the curvature cross section on May 25th, and now we're forming again. But this time, despite, before it was a cross section upward, right, from the MACD over the signal. But now it's the MACD crossing down from the signal. So the signal line is going to be above it now. That's a bearish sign, right? So the next level of resistance will be going back down to 625, right? And normalize from there, and then kind of hovering around there, and then form more of a curvature to go down in a more of a scoop fashion, right? And then by then, the RSI will be depleted a little bit more, right? So that's a logical play from here, right? So would I buy 650 right now? I think you want to weigh off a little bit, to be honest with you, right? Because this is, again, right, it's a bearish signal. Is it a mega bearish signal? No, it's not a mega bearish signal because we have pretty good momentum so far, and we do see some sort of a sector rotation coming, as hedge fund going back into the growth stocks again, which we have been seeing that already. It's just that because of the negative FOMC meeting and the negative job report that we had, and also with respect to the negative news from China, right? That these cultivations of negative news drive the stock down from mostly consumer investors, not really corporate investors. And I think a lot of corporate investors actually bought up, and which is the reason why you see this huge green candle you see here today. This is not a coincidence, right? But I do see this as a more of a pump and dump type of thing, right? It's logical to see that way, right? And if you know how to read the TA, you know that we are leaning more towards a downward trend right now. So you could call this maybe a dead cat bounce right now. So 625 will be the next level that I would buy at when I see it again, which I foresee that to be happening coming up, right? And once we get down there, we should be slowly coming back up and recover from there to normalize. And by that point, RSI will be more depleted than the level that we're at right now. And that will be the perfect time for you to buy at the 625 again, ahead of the rally that should be coming. ahead of the earnings call that's coming up in the quarter. All right, just to recap on all the numbers in the technical analysis, for Tesla, 625 is a level that we want to eye at. We don't want to be buying it now at the 650 because we just crossed the cross section recently on a MACD perspective, so I do see a little bit more selling pressure coming. With respect to 605, I think by that point we'll be highly depleted on the RSI perspective right now. I project that maybe 1 week out we could potentially get there. Do we see 575? Knowing the fact that 600 is a really substantive level that we've been testing multiple times historically, 575 will be unlikely, but if we get there because of a black swan news about chip shortage or something crazy with respect to the Chinese regulatory pressure coming, or just any tensions between US and China, or anything that is related to inflationary pressure, or anything about quantitative tightening from the Feds again, yeah, we could potentially get there, but that's more just like media affectation, right? Again, these factors are more foreshadow factors rather than sudden factors, right? But that just kind of scare people away. So 575 would be an amazing level to buy at if you want a dollar cost average or buy it for the first time. Price target 950, 52%, 1.5 times upside from here. For NEO, 4650 is fair if you want to buy and hold it for the next like 5 to 10 years. I think NEO is going to be a 3-digit stock hitting maybe $200 in the next 3 to 5 years. I'm not surprised by that. I think it's just a matter of macro growth in the economical perspective, right? But I think ideally a more comparable level would be the $43 level, $43.50 or $43. Based on the level of substantiveness and consolidation level, that's a level that I would potentially buy more in. I know I personally bought $46.50 level yesterday. I plan on buying more, but I actually missed out today because I had meetings. So I actually didn't have a chance to buy it. But I do see some more depletion coming forward to hit that 43 again. So we'll watch out for that in the next couple of days or so. Do we see 39.50? Because after 43, we're going to leap all the way back down below 40. That's just the technical charts, how it's set up right now. I think for us to get there will be very unlikely, but contingent on no more black swan news, right? That's something that is the it factor that we cannot really calculate, but we can only maneuver by thinking logically and dollar cost average at the resistance level, right? $85 price target for year 21, 82% upside, 1.8 times your money from here. Alright, so that's it for today with respect to my technical analysis on Tesla and NEO. Hopefully this is helpful into understanding the dynamics that we see in front of us on both a macro and a micro perspective right now. And please, feel free to hit me up if you have any questions. I'm happy to address them and, further clarify if you may. And please hit the like button, subscribe button, all the button notification, and watch out for the next video coming up. Take care. Bye.